tell me, how was the last session, the very first session actually for you? How did you feel? What comments did you get?
Overall, really nice. I think people were very into it. It's just that most people's comments were like, "Oh, I missed it. Why did I not see it?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's our bad." Good overall. Definitely very chaotic. We need to cut down on the tangents and get to the building, especially we have a lot to do today. So just for everyone to know, I gave Bojana a very concrete list of everything we're gonna need to get through today, and she's gonna keep me accountable. So we're basically doing it like a co-working session where Bojana is not working, but she's really keeping a track of if I'm working.
I'm the manager today.
You're the man. So,
I'm the manager. Okay. Yeah, the people didn't get any notification because these two girlies, we're content girlies. The memes on both like LinkedIn and Instagram, the happy creative girlies and the sad like Excel girlies. So we're the happy creative girlies.
the more than 12 year old.
We become sad girlies when they need to do tech. And that's exactly why we are doing these live sessions, because we need to deal with tech things. We need to deal with a little bit of engineering nowadays, no matter how far of real engineering that is for us. Content girl is that's super engineering and super techy. And as we talked last time on our pilot session, you know how all TV shows have those like pilot season or pilot episodes? So yeah, like that was a
Yeah,
pilot episode for us
that's
for
perfect.
our series.
No,
So we
it's not funny because they basically determine whether a TV show is going to get picked up or not. And I don't know if we would have done well, some first session, but I don't think you turn around for the
yeah, I looked at it because both you and I received a lot of DMs on LinkedIn and on WhatsApp, and we're not about the name, about idea, about the session itself. I think the interest is in the peak. But yeah, before we start over, I just want to say that we started this series for everyone who feels super anxious around AI, especially with everything that's happening lately in not only in content department and SEO department, but also in marketing overall. Because I think there is a lot of pressure to go through tech stuff, to understand AI, to understand everything that comes with it, to understand how to set up workflows, which workflows to set up, what to choose, and what actually to automate or what to handle with AI and what to handle with humans. So basically, we're bringing two perspectives in every episode, actually. Like one is from in-house, and that's from myself. And the other one is from agency, actually AI agency, because Barbara will walk us through most of the workflows she does for her clients. And when we're at this, I think we're ready for the first step of building today. So what are we going to do for first sketch?
Okay, so today, like most people who have a very exciting idea or a side project, but no time to build it, we're going to show that you can actually do it, not to judge your changes. I've heard from people are like, I'm like, I didn't have time to start that. And they're like, "Sure, you can do it quickly. I'm like, how cute. I'm all wrong. That's we can do it. So we're going to show that you can actually build an entire website, connect it to your Substack, and create a content workflow so that website gets populated on a weekly, daily, whatever your cadence is basis. And you can basically have your side project going on in the background. And when I say background, this is based on these lives that we're doing. So each week we have a LinkedIn Live, and I want the transcript and the video from that LinkedIn Live to then be repurposed into content for this website that we're building. So that's basically our way to make sure that we can keep doing these lives that we enjoy and they're the most fun part, and then don't have to spend an additional day of the week just dealing with the content and building of the website, and all of that kind of content can go very organically just from the transcript itself. So that's basically our goal. We currently only have our Substack, which is its own platform, but we want to have our website. And I'm going to show you what website I'm using as inspiration for this. So let me get started by sharing my screen. I'm going to roll and more people coming in and saying hi.
I will manage the comments. It's just like reverse StreamYard is not allowing me to comment there, so I will comment here.
Yeah, you got to get to LinkedIn. You are our LinkedIn correspondent.
Yeah, multitasking, just a regular thing in content.
If anyone is interested to see what StreamYard looks like, it's this. It's a mess and should be more intuitive. Anyway. Okay, this is the website that I'm using as inspiration. It was built by Sam, my co-founder, as his little side project, where basically he is reaching out to growth leads and asking them if they have any workflows that they can share that we can then feature on this blog. So the website is built fully with Claude Code design as well. It's all based on our agency's branding. So I like how it has the immediate email capture. I believe this is connected to Beehive. And then it has a past workflow section, which is basically just a blog. But the beauty of this is that as soon as someone responds to Sam, he has a LinkedIn campaign going through HeyReach, shout out to HeyReach, that basically asks people to share their workflows. And as soon as they respond with really anything, it could be text, it can be a short Loom video, whatever format is convenient for them. He basically just puts it into an existing Claude Code chat and tells it to create a blog post. And that blog post gets immediately just published on this website. And it looks great. Look at this. This is not, we're not designers or anything. And again, we're non-technical. This is basically our goal for Two Girls, One Claude. I want a website like this. We don't need it to be complicated. We just need it basically for some of that SEO juice. Okay, so that's what we're going to be building today. Anna, is there anything else that you want to cover before I get started?
No, I want you to start prompting Claude and then I will yap because otherwise I will steal the time.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so let's dive in. So I did some prep beforehand and I created a folder that outlines exactly what I want this website to be like. So if we go into our docs, there's a folder that's called website. Here I shared our mood board, our current branding, so like font, colors, our previous marketing promotions. We have a YouTube banner, and we have a photo of me and Bojana. Because I want that to be featured on the website. I want to have a little section where it shows the two of us.
I see you didn't change my photo. No, it's fine. It's fine. Just do the prompting. I needed to just I needed to say it.
I appreciate you. Okay, so let's see if StreamYard is gonna break if I do my voice transcription. So just yell at me if something breaks. Let's see. Do you want me to type it? Is that better?
Yeah, please type it. Please type it because last time it didn't broke, but it did glitch, and people were a little bit confused. So what we did last time, I will explain while Barbie is typing. Barbie is using a converter.
Yeah, I feel like it's probably important to just explain what I'm typing while I'm doing it, not subscribing.
Yeah.
No worries.
Sorry.
So yeah, basically what I want to say is I want you to build a website for my project called Two Girls, One Clock. We want the website to be very minimal, polished. I think I'm out of words. And okay, you have access to the folder where all of our branding material, photos, fonts, and context docs are that you need to take into account when building this website. Another thing you need to take into account is a website called startupgrowth.ai. I like the format of that website and want to copy it. We need an email subscribe at the top and then a blog section at the bottom. We also want a small section to meet the girls. You have photos of me and Bojana also in the folder. Is there anything that we need to tell it not to do? Follow the brand colors and fonts. Don't make a dark background, but also not white.
Don't use references from the internet.
Then it don't fail. You start a vote, not AI, girl. But like a kid going to university and the teacher don't use books. You'd leave.
No, you know what references I thought about, but just let it slide.
At least we're stealing from our own website. Okay, so I think that's it. Let's see it do the first draft.
I'm pretty excited to see what will show, because a few weekends ago I built a website for my side project, not actually side project, but the mentorship thing I do around content. I built it in around an hour, and with Lovable, not with Claude. And like the first prompt, but I had brand guidelines, I had photos, I had ICP, I had everything. Like I shared the prompt for that on my LinkedIn last week, and also on my LinkedIn you can see the website as well. Basically in 3 prompts I got my website. It's something unbelievable, because we're friends since forever, that I've been trying to build that website for 4 years now. I either do not have budget, I can find the developer, I can find 105 things, and then like in few prompts it was workable. I published it, like I started at noon. At 2 o'clock I published it, and I was like, okay, I still do not have domain. There's still a few things that need to be edited, updated, and things like that. But all in all, it's working. And that's what's important at this testing phase of the project for me. Because I feel that a lot of marketers, myself included, are refraining from testing things because testing is super expensive as well, or it was. So in order to double down on something, you already need to spend like quite a chunk of a budget just to see if it will work. And right now, I think it's quite easier to actually have an idea, brainstorm it, build something super fast, test it, and then if it works, you can go with it to other department. It depends if you're in-house agency or you're building something for yourself. You can then figure out, based on information you get, what will you do with it, and if that project is actually viable.
Yeah, you basically move from an idea to a clickable prototype in like maybe an hour. And that's so much more powerful to just, I know with clients, if you just bring them something that people can like actually see, doesn't have to be anything literally live on like an existing domain. there's still like a feedback process. But if you can just deliver that draft one so they can more accurately see the idea, it's just so much better. And before I had to get a designer, I had to get a developer, usually from the client's team. That's a lot of work. Those people are overwhelmed. You can't just be like, fun idea. We build a draft one. They're like, you can get that in 3 months. No, this is not a priority.
Yeah, exactly. If you can't like show that the task you want to do that is viable, that it has ROI, that if you spend X amount of devs hour, designers hour, yours hours, and all of that, like that's a lot of money. Like that's cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
And if you can't prove that it's worth it, you won't get approved for time, for money, for anything. And I just love vibe coding because of that, because it helps me present ideas faster and actually get approval. I have a super cool CMO. Uh, that's something that I recommend even more than vibe coding.
See. So this here
To cool,
no,
to cool CMOs. Yeah, yeah.
and then so fun.
What we
Also,
have so far.
that's so interesting. I already don't like that this header, but I know what to prompt it to change it to. Also, it's interesting how like I've been working with Claude for a long time now. So it has a lot of chats with me. And it's interesting that it's like I have recognized the founders. Barbara, red hair. No, you make for that, but like, how do you know? Like I had you edit so many photos of me in
What a cheater.
yeah. But sure it's all everything that we could fix. Yeah, and I wanted to ask how was the experience with Lovable when you were building that website? Can you like compare it to Claude Code at all, or was that like the first website you built with AI?
This is the first website I'm building with you on Claude. I actually I'm using Claude for almost a year now actively, but I never use it for building websites or any prototypes. I'm using Lovable for that on a daily basis, and I will see now whether I'm going to change or not. So for any prototype, any idea, any project that I want to pitch, I use Lovable, and experience depends. When I first started, it was not super confusing, but the output wasn't what I wanted, what I thought about in my head. But I figured during the time how to operate within. And I think that's also something that a lot of people is gatekeeping. That experience with the tool means a lot. Because same like with people, you during the time you figure out how to talk with someone so you are aligned. And the same thing goes with prompting. I do not believe in those perfect prompts for everyone. So take my prompts for this, take my prompt for that. No, that doesn't work. Yeah. But for example, I built the whole project around redesigning of our blog at Herich, and how the whole network and the whole system should work. And then like I've talked with our head of design and with developer and everything, and they put it to live. Like it was project that lasted like few weeks, and in previous companies without Lovable and everything, like I needed 6 months for that, more or less. And my experience, to get back on the question, my experience with Lovable and Lovable website, it's a great tool if you know what you want and you're
Yeah.
super specific and which context you need to give him or her, like whoever we're going to
Whatever
gentrify.
your no, but like,
I saw today a post where someone said, "Feel gratified when you give a name to your AI agent." I'm like, come on, like all my AI agents has names. Like ChatGPT is Chad, like Claude is Claudia, Perplexity is
yeah.
yeah, Perplexity is Pera because it's
Wait, Claudia is wow, that's so much better. I can tell you, like, with the recent episode of HubSpot, I have to say sorry to their producer because I think 7 out of 10 times I said Claude Code or some like it's such a mouthful. Claude
Yeah.
Code. Claude itself, I'm like, we need to. I feel like there should have been
It
like
is awesome.
even before this was like adopted. Like I don't. It's a bit just it's clunky. But
Yeah,
Claudia is. I love
much
that. I'm not
better.
gonna steal it
Yeah.
from you, but that's good. That's good. Honestly, I think it's a much bigger red flag when someone like has a name for their car. I don't know about that. That's a little weird.
No, I don't have that. It's just I have a name for my AI, for my e-reader, and that's pretty much it. I do feel like Lovable is slightly faster, but I did feed it with much context than you, to be
Mm,
honest, because I had a whole brand guidelines, meaning all the colors, all the variables of the color, all the fonts, when to use it, in which context, in which variations, etc. So full blown. I think designer needed like a 40 hours for that or something like that.
yeah, we don't
So
have that much actually because we just it's interesting that it's showing me on mobile. But yeah, we have very minimal branding stuff, which is it's not great because you're giving AI more freedom and less not constraints, but like guidance. So we'll see what it comes up with. It's possible that's why it's taking a little longer as well, but I wouldn't be able to design and build a website within 11 minutes, so who am I to complain? But yeah, I think we're not really gonna have a ton of revisions either because again, this is on your like you have this in Claude Code. For example, for my agency website, when I want to make a change, I just go back to the chat and I say, change this. So it's very much like a working kind of chat that you can keep going and it just keeps iterating and deploying that. So I feel like it's very easy to get to draft one, launch that, do what you need for your side project or whatever you're building, and then come back to it later, like when you have a little bit more time to look at it and like really dig into those details, which we will not have time for that today. But again, if we just have a website done now, then like I can tinker on it over the weekend or something like that. Like I feel like that's a very nice workflow. So I'm pretty happy with the speed. And plus, if we weren't on a LinkedIn Live now, what I would have done is started this and then just went into another chat and started doing something for my clients because you can have them working together. So I would just let this do its thing in the background, which is fantastic because then you can really like multitasking on another level. You know, essentially you can just do this during your regular workday.
yeah, that's true. However, I need to say that I'm too anxious to see like what will give me. So I have it like open on one screen while I'm working on the other, and I'm constantly like looking what's now.
Your mom situation. It's okay.
But with Claude, I'm like that. But with Lovable, I'm if I'm in Lovable, I'm just in Lovable. I'm doing it. It's much faster. But I will try to use the same prompt and same context I fed to Lovable to actually feed to Claude Code, Claudia Code to Claudia Code.
Claudia Code.
Yeah, to see what will be the result. Because I was amazed with the copy actually. I did I did add a lot of information around ICP, around services I want to provide, around who I am and what is my background. And like the copy was almost totally on the point. I had like really minor edits. So, what are you prompting it to do now?
Let's say that the site is done. You can view it at localhost and I to bully it and be like, just do it for me. Don't just tell me where and just do it for me because I want to be able to like see it. But it's not doing well with that instruction. Fun with you. Can I put it in? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Cool. Let's see what we have for the beginning.
Okay, this is something we built in 20 minutes.
Yeah, did it say 20?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
25.
Yeah. Okay. I told you it's gonna do it in 15 and I'm like, oh. Pretty good, pretty good. Okay, so we have the email capture. We have this for some reason. I think this should be here at the top. We build real products line. I don't like this section because it looks like a SaaS product. So I think I'm gonna instruct it to put that here above. This we will connect with Substack. Okay, latest post. I like that it zooms in. We're gonna have to tell it to fix some of these thumbnails. But honestly, those are the details that I'm not gonna get into today. So, okay, meet the girls. Fully wrong in our name. That's so funny. But this looks good. We'll just put the photo later that you wanted me to put. I don't love the black background, but I think it just pulled from mine because yours has it. So we can always adjust the photos. But again, that feels like very detailed. And we can update our bios. I think I didn't give it anything, so he's just fully figuring it out. The one who makes sure it actually looks good. I don't know. I feel like you're the one that sure looks good. I'm just here to build it, and then I show it to you, and you're like, "Yeah, I feel like we can do a little better." Don't want to pretend. Let's just ship it. That is me in this relationship.
No, definitely. What makes sure that looks good turns out put into polished product. That's you as well.
Oh, I'll say you again. Let's figure out. I think we have time for an iteration. So let's just say everything that we want.
Okay, 2 minutes for iteration. Well, you can speak while you do, and I will just answer the comment because someone needs to do that as well.
Oh, are people upset? What's up?
Okay, guide us. What are you doing? What are you asking?
Okay. So whenever I'm building anything, I heavily rely on screenshots because I don't know how to explain it, what I mean and what section I'm pointing at. So I just take screenshots and upload them. So I'm going to say I don't like the header or the text for the header. I think the image also attached should be the main section with this text below. And then I'm going to bully it for the text because how dare you say no fluff, just shipping? I'm going to literally throw up right now. How dare you? You cannot write like that. Edit the text as well. Never use end dashes or no fluff generic AI writing. Be concise to the point. And clear. And to be fair, we should later both look at this website and then do a little bit of copying myself with it instead of just bullying it. But let's start with
I'm not bullying anyone, so I do say please and thank you to all my AI in school.
I'm way past that. I just don't have the vibe.
Now, I'm super kind to everyone. Just in case, you need to be prepared for everything.
Yeah, for our overlords. Okay, so I told him what to do. But yeah, I think these are pretty minor changes. So hopefully it's not going to take long to do them. And then I'm overall pretty happy with how the website looks right now. Like I would be publishing this maybe with a few text tweaks just so we can make sure that it's not because we didn't give it any text. So it's really not working with anything.
Yeah.
It's just fully context. Okay, 3 changes. That was quick. Good job.
Nice. Yeah, I think, you know what?
Oh, no,
But we
it's
just
right.
have time. Yeah, we don't have time to check that with Claude, but the one thing that I struggle a lot with Lovable, and then a friend told me that I need to actually go in a GitHub to edit those things, and I was like, no, logos. So it's great for sourcing logos. Like it doesn't matter if you upload them or you say to Lovable Chat to search them online, but the placements were off. For example, on the website I've built, I had a section the companies that trusted me or still trust me or whatever.
Yeah.
And like they were like this. And no
Yeah.
matter
It's probably pulled from like an image from online, which who knows what the actual like aspect ratio of that is.
yeah, I also uploaded like SVA files, PNG files, like all the type of files, and it just keeps fucking it up. And at the end, like I publish it like that. I was like, I cannot go to GitHub right now, but out of hour and 30 minutes that I spent on it, like hour and 20 was asking it to fix the logos.
Yeah. Okay, I have a fix for you here. Are you a solution oriented or were you just wanting to complain a lot?
Both. I need the app, but I also want to solve things.
Yeah, I figured while this is working on it, because I actually had a very annoying project that I had to figure this out for. So, because there were 400 logos that I needed to add to this project for a client,
Oh my
and
God.
you can't do that manually. 400 logos. So, we had logos from just like a folder. I think someone like downloaded them online or something. But that means that all of these were in like insanely different like sizes, identity. So I started doing it manually and I was like, I can't do that. And then the integration with Claude and Figma came out. And I was like, oh my God, I know what to do. Because if you connect Claude to Figma and then Claude produces this design and you can take it directly to Figma and it's editable. And Figma has a plugin already it's called something logo finder or find my logo or something. The name of the company. But because it's Figma, it's not just pulling like a random JPEG online. I'm sure it has a source that it's pulling from, but it edits the logo so that you have it at like as an editable file. So you can choose the colors and all of that. And then it automatically reshapes it so that it goes with your design. So there's a little bit of prep work that obviously you need to do. But yeah, then I didn't have to go in and edit the logos manually, which I cannot much time that would have taken for 400 logos.
That sucks. Yeah. Yeah. Final thing. Clean. Okay.
I would next, I'm not gonna do this now. I'm gonna tell it to remove this border because it's weird. But I think this is the design that I made. It's in this aspect ratio because it's our YouTube banner, so I think it's pulling from that. But there's no need for that. And then
Okay.
email capture, blog, us. It got us right this time. And then we can just edit these details. But the blog, like it's done. Would you be happy with
Yeah.
this? Okay.
I will
Fantastic.
change my picture for the one I sent it to you. And
Love it. Then
yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay. Next thing, how do we connect email capture to Substack? And then like quick flow for repurposing our transcripts into blog posts for this exact website that we built.
okay. Okay. So I don't know how to connect into Substack, so we're gonna ask it. Okay, I'm happy with the website. How do I connect my email, the email capture you built to my existing Substack account? Do it for me. Let me actually open the steps.
How you're in that do it for me mood.
Oh, I believe it a lot. Whenever it says, especially I remember with that project with the logos, and I was like, "Hey, how do I like fix this?" And the logos are bad, and it said you need to go and download the logos and then give them to me. And I was like, "I need to do no, you need to do that. What do you mean?"
I'm not sure of jokes I can go here because we're just getting to know each other with our audience. But once
we
we
know
get
each
a
other
little
very
bit
well.
more comfortable, so for now, no new comments. But my comment is that I love how whenever I have some question for you or some a challenge, you're like, I think this is a question for Claude.
That's like the new version of did you Google it?
Yeah, did you Google it? The thing with the Google, so you can't tell Google do it for me, but at certain extension, you can do code. I'm not sure about co-work. Can co-work do things for you as well?
Not like Claude Code does. I always just opt for Claude Code.
So what is like the limit of co-work?
The limit of co-work is that co-work is essentially just what chat is. I don't think co-work will survive as like a product feature. I think there will just be chat and code in the future because I'm noticing that I'm using co-work less and less just because code is obviously better. And then for the things that I've been using co-work for some smaller tasks, like I don't know, generate a social media post for me or something like that. You could also just use chat for that as well. Cowork has more context because of the folders, obviously, but code has even more context and it's working within the folders on your computer. So you can use that how I have several projects going at once because code is like really working on each of them and it's actually like controlling my computer. Okay, let me just see what this is. Oh, done. Sick. So catchy. Oh, it's done.
What? Did you broke something?
No, it's done. So it says when someone enters their email and clicks subscribe on our email subscribe here, it goes into our Substack via their API. If Substack's API accepts the request, they see you're in, check your inbox. Woohoo!
Oh,
Yeah, we should maybe send that to a few friends and test it just to make sure that it doesn't block the direct API call, which can sometimes happen. It might happen between the thing. Sam? No, I'm kidding. Again, Sam asked Claude. So like Sam was the one.
okay, can we ask people in the chat then? Can you?
So no, because this is not live online. This is live on like my computer. So we're gonna have to follow up on social media and see if this works. But this should be pretty easy. Once we publish the website live, I will get like an email if there's any kind of block happening. Okay. Technically, people can now, not now, but people can subscribe through our Substack. And this, once we publish the website, goes directly to that same list. So we're growing the Substack list from scratch, and we didn't have to spend the extra time to build an email capture just specifically for our website if we can just use Substack. So just use Substack or like Beehive or whatever yours is, because it seems to be a very straightforward process. It's just that unfortunately we can't test it now.
Beautiful. I can't believe this is like something we can do in an hour. Like I needed 6 months to build a website and then a month to build all of this. Okay, next thing on the list, a quick workflow for repurposing our transcript into blog posts for the website. So on the last, like on our first episode during the pilot, we showed how you can use your webinars and build like basically a content flywheel with Claude. You can also go to our Substack, download the Markdown file and feed it to your Claude Code and use the little product that Barbara made to actually transcript your webinars really fast and not have to pay for those products that are super expensive or to actually drain your writers, but they can just use that transcript and then work on the blog posts or LinkedIn posts or whatever you're using. You can also instruct Claude Code and that Markdown to actually produce you proposals for that content. And then you can have your writers or editors actually work on that and not from the scratch. So you can save a little bit of time on that. Barbie, do tell us, what are you typing?
Yes. Okay. Question for you. Our first Substack I wrote and published. Were you happy with that writing style and tone of voice? Because I want to instruct it to use the same writing style and tone of voice for this blog.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So I think that's going to help a lot. Sorry, my eyelash just committed suicide. So I'm telling it to now you need to establish a workflow to publish weekly blog posts based on the transcript from each LinkedIn Live event. We want an SEO optimized blog post summary to be written for the blog based on the transcript, written in the writing style, tone of voice from our first Dubstack article. Also, I know that anyone working in content and SEO is absolutely cringing at my we want an SEO optimized thing. We should do keyword research. We should do a little bit more prep for the next articles. I'm now just establishing this workflow for content that we can then improve. So don't come at me. Okay, why are you not?
We will do a separate workflow for that. That will be a separate episode. Right now, we just want to establish this to connect previous episode and this one. And then we will follow up with next thing.
Yes. Sorry, might have to restart it. It's not copying this. Okay. So
let me.
hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, can you maybe buy me a minute?
If it needs a minute or two, I can go through comments. If not,
Okay.
do
Yeah,
tell me.
good. I think I have to restart my Claude. It happened.
Okay. For me, like it starts dancing and being like tuck, 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 and then I need to restart it. Yeah.
Hand it to while you're in your laptop. That sounds intense.
No, this is new laptop. It happens only with Claude. Do not go at Heritage. I'm not allowing it. I'm not allowing it.
No, we love the Heritage team. By far the best.
No, I'm obsessed with my team. No. Okay, someone asked, let's see, Jared asked, aside from branding kit and what you should, okay, I answered on that. Recently my workflow starts with Stitch at least landing in a web, since like you built just landing here, not that connection flow for a Substack. What if that part won't work?
Then you troubleshoot it. There's going to be parts that don't work and there's going to be parts that break later on. You just troubleshoot it in the same Claude chat. So there's, for example, my agency, we built our own calendar tool because Vimcal was annoying. So we built our own and it's internal, but like we built it and it works, but like it sometimes breaks. And then you just go back to the chat and then you just troubleshoot it. It's the same with really any other process. You just have to work with it.
You just need to get with it.
Like working with a team, there's a process, so it's nothing is ever really instant. But yeah, I wish we could have launched the website live so we can put it in the comments so that people can test. That would have been fun. But our domain is currently connected to our Substack. So instead of it saying something at substack.com, we have twogirls1claude.com, and that first it leads to our Substack page. I'm assuming there's gonna be additional time needed for me to set up all of that with the DNS records and everything. So we would not have time to finish this live. But I don't know, maybe next week we can take an entire hour, because it will probably take that long to actually deploy the website, because I'm sure there's going to be some challenges. So we might just work through them together and see how that works.
Troubleshooting can be an interesting episode because I feel that most of the posts on LinkedIn and like all those courses and everything, like they're just like, I've just built something in one prompt. I use that as a hook in my LinkedIn post, but immediately I wrote, but I had this and that, and it actually like I've been working with a tool for a year. So I feel that maybe that transparency can be useful for people. I don't know. Tell us in the comments. Would you like next session to be troubleshooting, or you want a new use case? Because we prepared few use cases, so we have topics for next few episodes, but we're willing to adjust if you think that troubleshooting during the deployment would be something more interesting or more needed.
Yeah. If there's any hesitation when you're building something with Claude, because I remember this from last year with ChatGPT and Claude and really any AI tool that I was using, like the build is great and you get really excited by what the tool is capable. But there's just that last 20, 30% that you're like, it's possible to get to an actually working prototype or something that's actually live and functioning properly online. And I remember that because I had to like a few times scour for a developer to be like, can you get me over the finish line? Because I cannot possibly do it with any of the other tools. So I get that hesitation a lot, but I'm not seeing that with Claude Code now. You can have things be built, but it's not going to be instant and there might be a lot of troubleshooting. So I do think that will take up our entire hour, but we are doing this for ourselves. So it might be useful to just have that hour penciled in for, okay, we're deploying the website now. Let's see what that entails.
Yeah, because I was thinking the last few days how other side projects, because I'm hard on side projects,
You might go away.
and I've built quite a few, but never this fast as this one. So I remember with To the Magazine, so that was something I've built with my friend Yasna. And we took 6 months of preparation just to figure out like what we want to do, how I want that to look like, how we want to organize the whole thing, like everything before we approach to a designer, before we then approach to developer and everything else. So we needed basically a year. We started talking about it in April and we started running in January. And imagine that 3 days we needed to do from, hey, can you help me out with this to, okay, the post for event is live.
Yeah, because it's interesting that for our content series here, I would not say that we just like randomly thought about that and then launched it the same day. We have had a running chat for the last several years where we were sending each other AI stuff, articles, asking each other for advice. What are you doing with hair reach? How are you guys using AI? How are we using it at our agency? So it was a constant conversation between us. And I think this was just the pinnacle of it. And we decided to make it live because we were figured out that we were able to show some of these workflows within an hour. Like hosting a live that lasts for 3 hours would be insane and not fun for anyone. So I do think there's still much needed space for that kind of thinking through the project. It's just that now you can act on it much faster and see how that would actually look like and start iterating based on some of those early signals that you're seeing. Because if you're just ruminating on a project for 6 months in a silo just by yourself and you're not getting any early signals, that's also a bit difficult.
Yeah.
The sooner you can get out and test it, the sooner you can do your first LinkedIn Live, figure out that you don't know how to do that, and then learn how to do it. So the faster you're going to get there.
Yeah. Didn't know that it will be so counterintuitive, which is the joke on us because everything around things that Microsoft or Google does, it's like never intuitive. But what did we get and what are you prompting it to do now?
Okay, so it says that all content is rendering correctly. The first block card and a homepage now also links directly to this post. But when I type this, I didn't get anything. So let's see if I need to bully it into. Oh no, there it is. It's okay. Never mind. Okay, for anyone who didn't see it, so this is the blog. These are dummy accounts because we just have one episode. So this is what it's gonna do after every single. So today, after we're done with the recording, I'm gonna take the transcript and I'm just gonna go into this chat and say, okay, here's a transcript from this week's episode. Make a blog post out of it based on the instructions that I've already given you. So it's gonna create this blog post. I will probably have to prompt it or add myself the links to like we have our LinkedIn recording that we post on YouTube. But again, I have to do that. There's probably a bit manual work that's gonna go. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how the page looks like. It just needs some visuals. And then I like this too. One more like this. Like, yeah, that's cool. So it has a subscribe button again. And then I can just keep tweaking it. So I would like it there to be like a feature image or something like that. But again, those are all details and those are all polished stuff. So yeah, what was important to me is that the blog is built, that we have a functioning like actual blog environment so that you can go into each of the blog posts, that our email capture connects to Substack, and that I have a repeatable process for every week so that I can take the transcript and it just gets uploaded to the blog. And we can keep tweaking that. So like, for example, if I now go in and say, I didn't really like these parts of the text, please don't do that, or we want a specific format, I'm just going to tell it that. And every single week, it's going to just follow everything that I tell it to. So now we have the website, now we have the blog, and now we have an easy way for me to repurpose our transcripts into content. And that's all that we wanted to do this episode, right?
Yeah, I made it.
1 minute later, 1 minute.
Yeah, only one, but not really. Like it's exactly 1 hour. Ara is excited as well that we made it because we actually started like 2 minutes earlier, so we're sure that we're actually going to start. But I'm super excited. We actually made it without any technical difficulties, besides of like restarting Claude. But that's okay. That happens. I'm super happy that we went through all things that we had on our plate tonight. So we built the website, we connected it to Substack so we can capture email. And we also basically repurposed the video and the transcripts into blog posts and push it automatically to website. And for the next episode, we're actually preparing, let's say, promo campaign and setting
Or are
up.
we doing the deployment? Did we decide what we
Or
want to do?
yeah, or we are doing deployment. So no one said anything in comments. So let us know.
Mean.
Yeah, mean girl. So we will give you a chance to send us your opinion
Can you make a
and your
poll on
voice.
LinkedIn to ask? Is that a thing? With Bob from the
The polls. I will
What's the
try. Do you want it in this event or in?
Nah. Nah, we've taken up enough time for people. But maybe we can do like a LinkedIn post. What do you guys want to see? Do you want to see the deployment? If if there's not a lot of people who want to see it deployed, I'm gonna take some time tomorrow to just deploy the website, and we're just gonna come back to everyone with a live link, and then we can all stress test it. If you see anything broken, let us know and we'll fix it.
Okay. I'm on it with you. Great. Then we have a wrap.
Woohoo! Okay, thanks for keeping me on track, and thanks everyone for joining. I think we're gonna end it here, and we'll see you next week.
See you. Bye bye.